Did you know that even teeny tiny minuscule little artist websites like yours or mine is still bound to the same user privacy laws, terms and conditions requirements, and liabilities as like major corporations' websites are? Yeah, things can get a little complicated to say the least, but it is still totally essential that you protect yourself. Welcome friends, it's Caleigh Bird, and today I'm going to tell you about 5 legal things that your artist website must have. Yes, you must have this. And the reason I know this is because Caleigh's rookie mistake, I actually had one of my affiliate companies that I work with ask me about one of these 5 things, which is my privacy policy, where it was posted, and I didn't have one. And that's when I realized that there were all 5 items that your website must legally have, or else you could literally get sued. So I went through all of these things and I'm going to show you what I did, but I must tell you, legal disclaimer, this is not legal advice, okay? If what I tell you is not 100% correct for where you live or what you're doing, you can't come back and sue me. I'm just going to tell you the best things that I learned and the cheapest ways that I figured out how to make sure that my website was completely compliant. So here we go today, guys. I'm here to help you out as always. Okay, so first off, I'm going to show you what the 5 legal things are that you need to have, and then I'm going to show you how I got my website in compliance and how you can too. Number 1, you need to have a privacy policy. So having a privacy policy is probably one of the newer requirements for an artist's website. However, it is incredibly important. People are finally starting to understand just how much like bots and robots and companies and things are following and tracking them online and procuring all this data, and who knows how they're using it. So at this point, you absolutely need to have a privacy policy, because this is probably the #1 spot where you could get in trouble for not being in compliance. I actually procured all of my policies from website. So if you'll notice, my name is automatically inserted in all the places that it needs to be on these policies, which I absolutely love. I'll tell you about that in the end. Your privacy policy basically lets website visitors know that you are not collecting personally identifiable information. So the GDPR is actually the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, and that pretty much governs how data is like collected and how it can be processed and stored. And the reason why this is so important is because this is a new law that just came into place over there, and if you are not compliant with this, you could get in big trouble if anyone from the European Union looks at your website. And of course, we want people all over the world to see our website. See, even California too, they have their own compliance rules. So that's what I'm saying. If you go with a company to get these legal documents done for you, it's going to make it a lot easier. This also lets your client know anything about sending newsletters or email marketing, because that is definitely something that you should be doing as an artist. So it just kind of lets them know that you're only going to send them things if they agree to. And of course, if you use affiliate links, you want to make sure people understand your policies about working with third-party vendors or creators. And then it's good to end each policy with where people can contact you, because if they have a legal question, you'd rather them go right to you instead of thinking, oh, this was too difficult to find this artist, so I'll just get my lawyer to find them instead. Yikes, no. And I also end mine with when this document was last updated, just so that anyone who's visiting will know. And also, as a reminder to myself, just make sure that things stay updated every year. Number 2 is a 2-parter. You need to have a cookie policy and your cookie banner. Now I use Squarespace for my website, so it automatically has a cookie banner setting. I had to fill in all the information, but it already had a setting for this cookie banner to pop up as soon as somebody comes on to the homepage of my website. So if your website doesn't have this, you might have to wind up dropping in a little HTML code. But like I said, the companies that I will suggest will provide that. Now, the cookie policy kind of goes hand in hand with the privacy policy, because the cookie policy literally is about setting up little trackers across your site to track people's movements and to make decisions for them as far as what content they might like to see or what their next step may be, that kind of thing. I don't really collect information about what people do across my website, anything more than Google Analytics. So for this, I definitely wanted somebody else, like somebody who knew legalese, to create this for me, because honestly, it's not something that I really deal with, and I just want to make sure to have my bases covered. Number 3, terms and conditions. So your terms and conditions is basically just like letting anyone who visits your website know, like, hey, just so you know, this is kind of how things are going to go down here on my website. And if you don't like it, then you can just leave. Because basically it says that if you decide to use my website and visit my website, then you are agreeing to my terms and conditions. And this is important because, you don't want to get in trouble for like putting your own work or your own thoughts out there. It has things like user content. For the folks that like to comment on my blog, it has a little thing about adult content for any of like the paintings or drawings that I do that are nudes, just letting people know, hey, this stuff is out there. I'm not responsible for user submitted content, and I'm also not responsible if you're under the age of 18 and somehow got a hold of my website and happened to view a few nude paintings. Or somehow found yourself offended by some other bit of content. Basically, it's saying like, if you're on here, then you're agreeing that I can post what I want on my website and you're not going to complain, or sue me. Number 4, a disclaimer. So a disclaimer basically gets your bases covered, like, hey, I'm just a person making some statements that are my opinion. You can't like necessarily count on everything I say as being fact. So you can't sue me if something that I says turned out to be like not quite true or whatever. It's my opinions. That's kind of what it's letting you know. Also, it's saying like, you are not allowed to take anything off my website and use it for your own without permission. You need to ask my permission. You need to get it in writing or whatever it is, like, before you can use anything off my website. However, if you post or add something to my website, like a comment or whatnot, if you are adding something, then I can use that because you are putting it on my website. So anything that you submit as far as like photos or comments or any of that kind of stuff, I am allowed to use, but you can't use mine. And that's important because you don't want people to think that just because you posted something online, they can just steal it from you. But you need to be able to reuse or repost things like comments or testimonials or, user submitted artwork, like that kind of thing. If you want to be able to repost that kind of stuff, you need to let people know that, hey, if you share it with me, I'm allowed to legally share it without asking you. And then it also lets people know that like if I do affiliates or have some kind of brand sponsorship, that they might pay me or give me free products, but that the opinions expressed are my own and can be trusted and I'm not being bought off. And number 5, you may already have, but it's good to take another look at it, and that is your refund policy. Now, your refund policy, you can write yourself. It should be short, sweet, and to the point. It does not need to be all long and super legalese. This is literally just like what happens when people order something from you and if they're not happy. Like for me, if somebody gets something custom, like I'm not going to give them a refund because I made that specially for you. But if you're not happy with your art or if it's damaged in the mail in some way, then of course I'm going to want to help my people out and make sure that, my customers, my clients are very happy. So this should be short and easy to read and just written in regular English. I also have a contact form on mine just to make it that much easier. If anybody's got any kind of problem or question before they buy, they can go ahead and just jot me a note right here. Now, number 6 is kind of a bonus. It's a smart thing to have as an artist, but copyright information. Basically, this just says like, no, you are not allowed to take my artwork or any of my photos and take them from my website and use them for your own without asking. And if I have any photos that are being used incorrectly, because sometimes I'll get like copyright free photos or stock photos that I'm just letting people know I am trying to use everything correctly. If you notice some sort of discrepancy, please let me know because that's not my intention. Again, don't sue me, please contact me instead. Okay, now for the mechanics of the thing. I highly recommend that you put your legal stuff and policies page right there at the bottom of every single page in your footer. That way, no matter where people are on your website, they can always access it. Everything is together. You've even got another contact form right here just in case somebody has some kind of question. So I used 2 different companies to create all my legalese jargon. The first one I actually did was for my cookie banner and content, and I found this company Termly, and you could get one of these legalese jargon page thingies for free going through their try it for free section. So you do have to fill it out and give your email and all that kind of stuff and set up an account like in everything you do. But then you are able to go through their very simple little fill out and checklist form, and at the very end you can get a cookie consent form for free. And what's nice about it is that it updates automatically. So if there's any other requirements or updates that happen in the legal world, it would automatically update your legal document as well, which is very convenient so that you don't have to go back and keep checking all the time. So after I'd already done my cookie consent one, I went on the hunt for another legal policy generator, and I found this website called Website Policies, and actually I kind of love this one even more. This one has all the different ones, cookie, refund, privacy, all this kind of stuff. Super duper easy to use, and I checked it out. I wanted to show you something a little sneaky that I found with the pricing. So if you go up to pricing, you will see that they say it's one legal document for $29.95, or you can get all of their legal documents for $59.95. But then when you actually click on it, what happens is it wants to charge you $99.95. And I was like, wait a second. So I just went back and just clicked on the one document. I was like, maybe I'll just do my privacy policy here and deal with something for the end, you know, for the other ones, I mean, and just deal with that when I get to cross that bridge when I get to it, basically. But what happened was, when I got to the end of this first policy, they gave me the, oh, don't just get one for $59.95. You can include all of them. So that's what you need to do. Go for just one policy, and then at the very end, it will let you do $60 for all of them. And you might say, $60 just from legal policies, but honestly, it is worth it, you guys. I was able to do all 5 of these legal policies in one day because I found these generators. They were so easy. You just basically answer a whole bunch of questions, not even that many, really, like 10 minutes worth, and then put in your name and email and all that kind of stuff, and literally it will generate all the legalese that you need specific for your website. And just go ahead and be honest with it. Like, tell the machine exactly what you've got going on your website, and then you will get all of your legal bases covered. I actually love this, and I am not affiliated with either of these companies. I will share their links down below, but I'm not making any money or anything by telling you guys about them. I just found them to be extremely useful, and I just had to do this a couple of weeks ago, so I wanted to share it with you today. I hope you guys have found this to be just as helpful as I have, and if you ever need any other advice for your own personal art business, you know, I've got tons of videos here on YouTube. You can check out this playlist for some quick art biz tips, or of course, I am always available for one-on-one mentoring. I will leave that link down below if you would like my help via Zoom to build the art business of your dreams. Thanks for being here, guys. I'll see you next time.